welcome to Discover Las Vegas, our summer series. So, this is the City of Las Vegas's podcast. I am your host, Priscilla Scott, Recreation Coordinator for the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs. And I have some really cool guests with us today. They're going to be super famous after this. We're going to start at the end of the table and work our way towards me. So, you'll go first.
Okay.
You'll give us your name, how old you are, and let's see, favorite candy.
It's hard. Okay. I know.
Go ahead.
My name is KK. I am 12 years old, and my favorite candy is Kit Kat.
Oh, KK likes Kit Kats. That is my favorite candy too, although sometimes it fluctuates and I might be like in a sweet mood, but I'm usually in a chocolate mood. So that's a good choice. Who do we have next?
Samadhi. My name is Samadhi. I am 9 years old, and my favorite candy is Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids. A little bit sour, a little bit sweet. Would you consider yourself a Sour Patch Kid? Sometimes you could be a little bit sweet and a little bit sour. Yeah.
My name is KJ, and I am 8 years old, and my favorite candy is Jolly Ranchers.
Jolly Ranchers. Do you like the chewy Jolly Ranchers or like the hard candy original Jolly Ranchers?
Hard candy because you get to suck it.
Okay. Do you have a favorite flavor of Jolly Rancher?
I like the green because I like sour.
Okay. Sounds good.
My name's Evan, and I am 10 years old, and my favorite candy is Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch. Ooh, we got two. Are you a Sour Patch Kid at heart too?
Yeah. I kind of like the watermelon Sour Patch Kids. I like those.
They sell those like just by themselves. Like,
Yeah.
You can buy like a whole bag of just watermelon
Yeah.
Sour Patch Kids. I saw that at the store. I saw you perked up. So thank you guys for joining us today. You guys all go to our Veterans Memorial Camp, which is one of the largest camps that the city has. We're super proud of, all of our camps, but that site in specific has some really cool specialty camps that they do every single summer. And I know this year we changed it up a little bit. You guys have like the Game Masters and the science camps and the sports camps and all the other fun stuff. The teen camp travels 3 times a week. So that's always a super cool experience. And you guys will all get a chance to talk a little bit about that. We're about halfway through the summer. So, we're a little bit more than halfway actually. And so, our summer is well underway.
Yeah.
Okay, so to kind of loosen us up a little bit, I have some jokes. Don't judge me, okay?
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay, why can't you tell jokes around glass?
Why?
It'll crack up. But what did one math book say to the other?
What?
What?
I have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Okay, my last one. How do you know when a bike is thinking?
I don't know.
You know when a bike is.
What?
You can see the wheels turning.
Oh my. You are so funny.
I love my jokes. I have never met a stranger, so I can always make up random things and talk to just about anybody. So, which is great because now I have a job where I have to talk for a living. So that kind of balanced out with my life pretty well.
Yeah.
So have you guys seen, Vets is usually, like, let me tell you, when I was at Vets, one of the most competitive things that I did was we love to make sure with like the kindness strips that we fill out every single week, literally, we had to line them up at the end of summer. You know, we have to count how many of
Yeah.
those we have, and we get to take them to city council, and city council acknowledges all the great and wonderful random acts of kindness that you guys have done throughout the summer. And we just like line them up in the gym, and we actually had to get a measuring tape that's used on football fields that kind of just rolls to try to measure it because it was so many. But anyways, all that to say, do you guys know what the kindness curriculum that we have throughout the city is?
Yeah.
Okay, who can explain it?
No.
Okay, how about I explain it and then you guys tell me what your favorite one has been so far.
Okay.
So, our kindness curriculum is actually just what it is. It's a way to get everybody to be more kind to each other intentionally. And so, every week we focus on a different aspect of kindness. So, what does it take to be a good human, right? And how do we treat people with respect? Which was the very first week we kicked off summer with respect.
Yep.
We've had inclusion. We've had a lot of really cool ones. This week, and I'm going to read this. Wait, do you guys know what this week's attribute is?
It's it is
Wait, what is attribute?
So
it
it's
is
all of the different components that go into our Camp Kindness stuff. So this week is responsibility.
responsibility.
So
Yeah.
responsibility means being dependable, making good choices, and taking accountability for your actions. A responsible citizen looks out for the well-being of others and understands that we all have a part to play in making the world a better place. So that's a whole lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys think of a time throughout this summer where you showed responsibility at camp? Where you looked out for the well-being of somebody else? Samadi, you look like you thought of something.
Well, there was this one kid hitting another kid, so I told them to stop because it's not right.
That's really kind of you.
And I told a teacher on the one that started it and to told them to not do it again.
That is a really, really good thing to do. I like that one. Can anybody else think of and it doesn't have to be related to responsibility. It could be a different attribute that we've talked about this summer. Go ahead.
So we were outside, and this kid, she fell down on the concrete, and I helped her back up.
That was very kind of you.
So today, someone was like their first week, and his name's Connor, and he was like, so I told him about like what do we do here, like what's the roles here, and I was like, yeah.
That was very kind of you.
So in teens, we went ice skating twice. The first time, my friend, she fell, and her leg went up and the skate cut her arm, like here. So, in the moment I saw it, I ran as fast as I can to the closest counselor, and I told them what happened, and they ran.
That is so kind of you. And all I can think of is how deathly afraid I am of ice skating for that reason in particular. Because I'm clumsy on 2 feet with tennis shoes, nice and tied. And I can't imagine what would happen with me on blades.
Yeah.
So hopefully your friend was okay. Yeah?
It's all healed now.
Oh, good.
It was like the second week.
Okay. So you guys get to go on a lot of field trips during teen camp, right? What has been your favorite field trip so far?
Honestly, I would say the ice skating.
Okay. Are you good at ice skating? No. Was that the first time you'd been ice skating?
I went in the past with the veterans, but yeah, that was like my second.
Okay. What did you like about ice skating?
I liked that we were able to just go around. If we were tired, we could go take a break and sit down, and we could just have races and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So this weekend we hit like 118, 120 degrees, something like that, right? Which is really, really hot. So it's pretty cool to be able to go ice skating and cool off a little bit when we live in the desert. Have you guys all lived here, or have you guys lived somewhere else that you can remember?
I live somewhere else.
You did? Where did you live before?
So I was born in Chicago, Illinois.
Ooh, really cold there.
Yes. Then we moved to Texas. Out Waco, Texas, and then we moved here in October.
Oh, so you haven't been here that long.
No, we haven't, but it's been a very good Nevada experience.
So of the places you remember living, where does Las Vegas kind of rank?
First,
First. Why do you like it so much?
I really like how it's like nice area. It's beautiful. I like people here. They're nice, but when I was living in Waco, it was like just like a desert. It wasn't really like a lot of stuff there.
Okay. Okay. What were you going to say?
Oh, so I was born and raised in Idaho, and I've been to 6 other states. I lived in 6 other states. I can't remember that much, but Idaho I really remember. And then I moved in Las Vegas when I was 6. And I'm gonna turn 9 this year in 3 months and 1 week. Yeah.
And you're keeping track.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you celebrate half birthdays or just full birthdays?
But I do like making people laugh here. When I was in Idaho, I only been there when I was like 2 or 1. And I still have a memory from there. My dad got me this stuffed animal when I was in the hospital when I was born. I was there for like a month because like I had something wrong with me, but I still have that memory. He got me a little cat.
Oh, do you still have it?
Yeah.
So, fun fact, I am a lot older than all of you. And I still have the stuffed animal that I got when I was a baby. And it's this little stuffed monkey, and he has, well, when he was little, he had a pacifier and a diaper. But we've moved countries and all over the place. So he lost his pacifier and his diaper. But a few years ago, I didn't want him with no diaper. So he does have like a baby diaper on him now. And I still have him, even though I am an adult with my own child. So hopefully your little cat will stay with you forever and ever.
Yeah.
I did have a doll too, and when I was in middle school, my dad threw it away. Now the doll. You guys have seen Toy Story?
Yes.
You know the creepy doll that comes out on the thing, and it's like missing hair and an eye and all that.
The
So
baby
it
doll?
looked just like that because I think I was like 8, and maybe my sister and I gave it a haircut, and the hair didn't grow back. And then it had a talking box, and we lost that, so it had like a hole in the belly. And so one day when my dad saw it in like middle school, he threw it away, not thinking that I wanted to keep this crazy looking toy
Yeah.
the rest of my
Can I
life.
say something too?
Wow.
Yeah.
When I was living in Washington, that's where I here from.
Mhm.
I was living in Washington. My dad, I bet he's hearing this. I had this big Moana doll that I had since like 5. And I always gave her like makeup because I would give her a dress. I would make a dress out of trash bags and put it on her. But she still had her Moana dress under because you couldn't like take it off. And my dad saw it sitting on the stairs because I put it there, and he was like just like staring at it, and I was like, "Oh, you met my friend." She finally came out of my closet, and he was like still, and then he just like ran to the kitchen.
It probably gave him the EBGBs, like he didn't expect it to be there.
Yeah.
Because we were going to school, and he was like, what? He was like so, and when we were packing, and when we were packing, I also found this other doll. It was like a draft doll. My mom gave it to me. And this guy from my school, he was gonna mow our lawn, and I said hi. He was like, What's that doll?" And he was like, "It's my buddy." It's like because we had my doll, and then there was a little doll like that. They were just the same, and they were like mother and like little daughter. Yeah, and that's one of my other memories. But yeah, that Moana doll, he just like, can you go get that? I'm not getting it. I was like,
It probably
fine,
gave him the EBGBs.
but like, what are you gonna do with it? Put it in the truck. A truck is like a trash can, right? He put it in the real trash can. I was like, I can't believe you.
Did you get it back, or was it gone?
Gone.
This isn't about me, but my sister, when she was younger, she had pacifiers that were all chewed up, but she loved them. So one day, but like she was like 3 now, and she was still using them because she loved them.
Mhm.
So like, and her teeth were going bad because she kept chewing on them. So, what my parents did was they threw them away and said that my uncle did it. So my sister didn't talk to my uncle for like a month because he threw them away, and she found out years later that our parents did it.
A little fib, a little white lie, that's pretty funny, and it almost is. So my oldest sister had kids before my youngest sister was born. I have lots of brothers and sisters, and it just so happened that there's a really big gap. And so I actually have 2 nieces that are older than my youngest sister. And when we were all little, they used to love telling everybody that she was their aunt because she was younger than them. And so my sister and my nieces had come to visit, and my youngest sister, she was still drinking a baby bottle at bedtime, and she was like 5. And so my nieces were like 6, 7, 8 years old. And so when they came to visit the first night, my dad goes to hand my sister her baby bottle, and she's like, "That's not mine." And she didn't want to be embarrassed, with my nieces there, right? So my nieces were here for like a week, whatever. The day they leave, my sister comes running into my parents' room, and she's like, "Where's my bottle?" Because now they were gone, and now she felt like she could be herself without having to be judged. So that's what that reminded me of, because she was like, I don't drink that. But
Another thing, so after my parents threw it away, then so we had these little plastic cups with plastic straws. So my sister was biting on the straws, which was even worse. So then like we couldn't use the straws; we had to throw them away because they were all because like we couldn't get anything from it because they were
Yeah.
all flat. She was
Yeah.
biting them.
Samadi, do you have siblings?
Yes.
How many siblings? And are they older or younger?
I'm a middle child.
You're the middle child.
My sister's 28 and my brother is 7.
Okay. Wow. Do you
Wow.
like being the middle child? What are the benefits?
Well, if I was, well, I like being the middle child because it's fun and, like, if my brother wasn't little, he would not have this, like, cute little, like, he has this dog that's, like, fluffy, that's alive. I didn't even know it was alive. It's like a puff of dust just running across the room.
Your little brother? Okay, so you have a little fluffy dog. What it so you guys get along and huh?
We never fight.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. What's your favorite activity to do with your brother?
He makes all this slime, so sometimes I play with his slime or play with his dog Penny.
So question. Now, I'm older than you guys, so don't judge me here. But do you guys buy slime from the TikTok shop? Have you ever heard of this?
Yes.
Am I introducing a
No.
bad habit to all the parents?
I think I know what you're saying, but I don't know. I don't really like slime that much.
Do you guys buy stuff off of TikTok in general?
Um,
No.
My brother, he
We-
watches TikTok, YouTube, stuff like that, but I don't know if he buys it.
I didn't realize that was like a thing, but I learned it this weekend. They have like this butter slime.
Yeah.
We were playing with it.
Yes.
Yes.
So sorry. We don't really play with slime, but we don't buy stuff from TikTok. We buy like stuff from like stores.
From stores, yeah.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
My parents don't even allow me to have TikTok, but my friends always talk about like stuff, and I've seen on YouTube that like there are these like videos where they test stuff from the TikTok shop and like Temu and like see which is better.
So I found out on our last podcast episode that my son, who is also not allowed to have TikTok, does have a TikTok. But he did say on our last episode that he was going to delete his TikTok app. It was kind of a funny moment, but I just, as a parent, you guys probably aren't going to like this, but as a parent, I just don't. There's sometimes that people put things out on the internet that looks like it's fun and it's for kids, but they have like hidden meanings and hidden messages that are really not appropriate.
Yeah.
So as a parent, that's my fear. And he's younger than you guys. He's only 7. And so I'm always worried about like somebody putting something out there that's not true. And then he's not old enough and mature enough to know like, oh, they're just joking or that's not really true. And then he goes on learning something that he really shouldn't be.
Because my mom doesn't allow me to have TikTok because like what if like the stuff that they're putting out is super inappropriate for kids and that they can't watch it and that like that people do on TikTok like they can say bad like stuff that we can't say at our age.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say, when we were all talking about babies, my baby brother, one time, my grandma was watching us. I just laid down and put out my hair, and he sat down behind me, sneaking. He pulled my hair. And my grandma was like, "Whose hair is this? Did you get it from your mother's?" And he was like, "Sissy?"
Like he pulled it out.
Yeah, he's only 1 though.
Oh, they have a
And-
strong grip.
it was like a hairball.
Oh, what a sad day. Did it hurt?
Yeah, I was crying.
So, brings me to a truth moment here. So we're talking about Camp Kindness a little bit earlier. What is a moment where maybe you felt like somebody did not treat you kindly?
So
And it doesn't have to be at camp, it can be somewhere else.
so when I was living in Texas still, this boy, I can remember his name. It was at my old school, and he was like not kind at all. He was always disrespecting people. He was always being like rude to everyone, and even on my last day, he said just bye, who cares? And then, but it did got on to me. But after a while, I just like, I can't deal with this. I need to stop and try to calm myself down because how bad he was hurting me. And he was like, he called people a lot of mean words, and I don't want to say the words that he said, but he said not nice words.
Okay. What did that teach you?
That teach you that it kind of teaches you that like just like be kind to people because you don't know when you're hurting someone's feelings. What if they don't say that you're hurting someone's feelings and they like start crying, like then you might know that you're hurting the feelings. So you want to like try to respect to everyone, that respect for everyone, that like you should be nice to the people.
That's really good. Who else has a story of a time they felt like they were not treated kindly? Go ahead.
So I was living here. I was in first grade. This kid, I was walking down the hallway. This kid, he was by me. I said, I like your hair. He literally slapped me in the face. I went to my classroom crying, and I had this like little mark that was kind of bleeding. And my face was all red right here because he slapped me right here. And I had to take a buddy to go to his class and tell his teacher. And he didn't go to school for like a week.
Okay.
Because
How did that make you feel?
bad, hurt, and not good. But I did learn something because there was a teacher there. He said to him, "You cannot touch girls like that, and girls cannot touch you like that. But if girls need to protect themselves, then they can. But boys cannot hurt girls."
That is very, very true. Nobody should hurt anybody else, but it looks differently because just biologically, right? A male body is stronger than a female body.
Yeah.
Like the muscle mass is different, the size is different. And so, like I say this all the time because I have my son and my niece, and even though she's actually a couple years older than him and taller than him, he's a lot stronger than her and can cause a lot more damage. So I don't let them kind of like play back and forth like that because, again, the male body is just built a little bit differently. But you're absolutely correct. Like that, but I'm glad you learned that.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Have you ever been in a situation? Go ahead, Samadhi.
Well, when I was in preschool, there was this preschool boy. He was like big and like tough and like he would a lot of the time like punch people, like push them off their like little trikes. And one day he came up to me and like started just hitting me, but then this girl came up and said, "You better not." and like yelled at him to go away.
Oh, so somebody else stood up for you.
And if it wasn't for her, then I wouldn't have gotten a few scratches.
Yep. So that's really cool. That's, we talk about like everyday heroes, and I love people who can speak up for other people because, sometimes you might not feel the courage to do it, or you feel alone, or like you talked earlier about someone who's new to camp. Sometimes people just aren't comfortable standing up for, or they don't see it coming, right? Like
Yeah.
you might not have known that she was getting ready to swing on you or push you or whatever, or the little boy was. But, somebody standing up for you is a big deal.
Sorry. Can I say something about her story?
Yeah.
So like she said, like don't don't touch people, because if you like touch a person, then they might feel like that they're like getting hurt, like that they're feeling that they're going to get hurt. But like you should not like hurt anybody. Like your actions will always be like your actions will always be bad if you're bad, but if you're good, then your actions will not affect to hurt people, to punch people.
Yeah. You're absolutely right about that. Yes, ma'am.
So what he just said, when they don't like feel safe, I think they don't feel comfortable and safe and like good. But when someone else that you actually know, that's a good feeling. But if you don't know them, so let's say one time, this is actually real. One time, just like a month ago or a few weeks ago, I was in Los Angeles. My dad was showing me his childhood. And there's a lot of bad people there, like a lot. When we were at a restaurant, it was like an open one. This guy, he was just walking by and yelling at a car. I think he was homeless. And also, when we were going to Venice Beach, we were walking on the bridge, and I was giving Spider-Man, like, he was like Spider-Man, and I gave him I was trying to give him a half five. My mom didn't feel comfortable with me touching other people there because one time my dad said there's like a lot of bad people. Like, cops don't even go by them. They're that bad and dangerous. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. What about you, KJ? Has there been a time, or KK? I was just, sorry, my brain. Remember, I said I forget things when I'm walking down the hall.
Yeah.
So, KK, what is a situation that you've been in where maybe somebody was not kind to you?
When I was in 5th grade, we had a garden. Our STEM teacher had a garden outside, so we went to the garden, and we were playing around. We were playing tag, and then just out of nowhere, this one girl started telling everybody, "Hey, KK has some sort of disease. If you touch her, you have to immediately go wash your hands before you get infected." So then everybody started avoiding me, and I was like, "What's going on?" Until I heard somebody say, "Oh no, KK touched me. I have to go wash my hands." And I was like, "What?" And then once one of my friends told me who was saying it, I just broke down because that.
It's hurtful.
Um.
So hold on a second. When it was all said and done, did you tell an adult?
Yes, because I was on the wall just crying, and then my STEM teacher came over. Because my friend went and got the STEM teacher, so she came over and then she dealt with it.
What did that teach you?
That not everybody is who they seem. Because this person that did it, I thought that we were good, but like sometimes we would bicker, but like we weren't like mad at each other, or at least I thought. But
Yeah, that's really important. That's a life lesson that you'll probably carry with you until you're an adult. Because you're right, not everybody is always as they seem, and not situations, right? Because there are also times where something might look like someone is doing something to hurt you, but in reality, either they didn't mean to or that wasn't their intention, even though it came off that way. I can tell you for my own family, my son, he doesn't know how to take a joke. He's still at that age where everybody's joking around and they're like, "Oh yeah, your feet are too small for your shoes, or your face is off," or people will just make like random weird jokes, right?
Yeah.
But he's fine when he's like giving the jokes out to other people, but when they try to joke back with him, he'll start crying like, "You said my eyes didn't match." And we're like, I thought we were just telling jokes a minute ago. So that concept, right? So sometimes he does get hurt even though it's not intended that way. What else were you going to say, KJ?
going with that, when I was in preschool, there was this one girl that I always wanted to hang out with, and I would sometimes like hang out with her. So this one day she was playing with her friends, and I asked if I could join her, and she said, "Your ears are too big to play. You can't play with us because your ears are too big." And I was like, "What? That makes no sense."
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, there are definitely some people that, and I think some of it comes down to, so there's two things that I'll say about that. One is people who have their own insecurities, right? So they might not be super comfortable with who they are. So then they look at ways to put other people down to make themselves feel better. Or two, people who do have a genuine interest, but they don't know the appropriate way to ask, right? And an example that I'll give with that is maybe you see somebody with a broken arm and you're curious as to how they broke their arm, and you might ask, "Hey, how did you break your arm?" Or some people aren't like so comfortable with asking a simple question that way. So that's, intentional and unintentional, I think sometimes has a lot to do with it. Hold that thought. I have another question for you guys. So we've been talking a little bit about kindness. We've talked about the Camp Kindness attributes and curriculum that we have going on throughout the city. And I know that at VETS, you guys do your slips and you write out like when there's a random act of kindness and stuff like that. What is, and then I've heard that you guys have all been Camper of the Week up at VETS at some point.
Yes,
You have?
I have, yes.
Okay. But even if you haven't, summer's not over. There's still time. But the attributes that you guys are, what are some of the things or some of the random acts of kindness that have taken place at your camps throughout the summer? Whether it was you doing the act or somebody else doing it.
Well, I could say I done a lot. I got 6 attribute kindness strips, but I done a lot to try to get these.
What's one
to
act?
One act I could do. I think
Or that you already did?
I did. I could say friendship.
How did you earn that friendship bracelet?
How did I earn it? I always ask people if they're like sad or like I tried my best to cheer them up, and I asked them to be like if I could be friends, so I could and then we talk, we have fun, so like we did that.
Yeah, so you befriend people that are kind of out by their lonesome.
Yeah.
Okay, AJ, you're dying to tell us.
Yes.
What's an act of kindness you've done this summer?
Well, I didn't do it,
Okay,
but
that's
my friend and she did. There was this girl, and she used to be my friend last year, but I don't think she remembers me from this year. But I did tell her we used to be friends. So we were in the bathroom, and it was Harry Potter Day, and I said, "Excuse me," like in a Harry Potter voice. I wasn't trying, but to wash my hands, and she said, "Is that your Harry Potter voice? It's dumb." And she just said that, and then she walked out. And this other girl, she was a friend. She said, Harry Potter's hair is not blonde, and girls cannot be Harry Potter. And I said, "You're not even dressed up, so why would you talk to me about Harry Potter?" And because I was actually following the directions on the dress up, and yeah, and then they left. My friend came running to me and said, "Who were those mean girls?" And then she went to go find them. And she said, "Well, you're not even dressed up, so why are you talking to my friend like that? And you shouldn't be talking to her like that. I bet you're in preschool because you're wearing she was wearing a dinosaur shirt, and
I love dinosaurs.
me too. And she has short hair, but she was like really mean. So like really mean. There was like other stuff that you're not supposed to say, and so my friend just did that.
So it was great that your friend stuck up for you, but as a parent and as a person who works with kids, we do want to make sure that when we are performing random acts of kindness that we don't go on the other end and insult the people who've insulted us, right? We kill them with kindness. And my Becker team, they always, not always, because it doesn't always happen, but every once in a while we'll be in a situation because we're the behind the scenes crew. And they'll say, you know, staff treats us like we're invisible, or they leave us out, or they treat us different. And they're like, how come you're always so nice? And I've just learned over the years that not everybody does it intentionally. And even the ones that do it intentionally, I'm not going to react the same way because then like I can control myself, but I can't control other people. So the only advice that I would give your friend is that I love that she stood up for you, but we don't want to join the Mean Girls Club.
Yeah.
Yes. What about you, Samadhi? Is there a random act of kindness that either you've done or that one of your friends has done?
Well, one day I was playing at the sand and I tripped and fell on the sand, and then I had a bloody leg. So my friend that was next to me when it happened ran to the closest teacher and got the teacher to come over.
Oh, that was so sweet.
And he got me the Band-Aids from the front office, and he got me an ice pack and did all this nice stuff.
It's always good when you can find kind people like that. Okay. Let's hear your story, KK.
So I was in kindergarten, and this girl who we didn't get along, this one day I don't know what I was doing, but I ran into my best friend and we both crashed into each other. I twisted my ankle. So then, but my friend, but the girl, which we didn't get along, she ran to go tell a teacher, and then she came. She was since we didn't have ice packs, she was putting water on my leg instead.
That was I love that because, that goes to show you that some people, even though you might not have like the best friendship or the best, or maybe you don't even know them at all, right? That they would still do kind things when you're like in a pinch like that and when you're actually seriously hurt. What did that teach you?
That taught me that even though somebody be might not be the kindest to you, that deep inside they still care about you.
Mm-hmm. I love some of the stories that you've shared today because they go to show us like that, there's still good people out there. So as a parent, I have a question as a parent. So I told you guys I have my son, and a lot of people, including the YouTube world, kind of know him a little bit. So as a parent or as a staff member, how do you, and this is from your perspective as participants in our program, how do we as adults have to be able to teach you to be a kind human? What are the things that we can do to better teach you to be kind? Go ahead,
So-
Samani.
To to give like boundaries so you don't become like a bad adult when you grow up. Like, don't eat too much sugar, or don't like play with real life guns or play gun games or stuff like that.
I'd say for me, I don't really like when people tell me that much, like, you need to do this to be better. I like when like people do the good things and I learn from that way.
So you're watching us. Okay. What were you going to say, Evan?
Oh, so I was going to say that so parents can they could so you know how like some teachers is like look at the older kids like look at them and like they could like show you like that. Parents could do that to the kids. So oh look at her, and we could show you, we could to do their responsibility.
So similar to what KK said
Yeah.
in like showing and not so much talking. Okay, KJ.
Okay. This is for me and my brother, but first let me do my brother. I'm the older sister, and my brother he has a picture of me, right? He says, "Sissy, tell me to do," and I say, "No, Mom and Dad tell you what to do. I just read the responsibility." Yeah, and he said, "No, Sissy," and I'm like, "No,"
Because he looks up to you.
Yeah. So
You're his role model.
I think my parents just, when he's like 2, or when he's actually getting more like talking, he can only like say sissy, mama, dada, TV, truck, green. Yeah.
So what's something that we as adults can do to teach you to be a better human?
Maybe when we get upset, like kids get upset, like really mad at the adult, the adult can ground them actually, because
So having consequences
yeah,
is important.
because my cousin, they're sisters, I don't really think they get taught a lot, because my cousin, she's like 10 or 9, maybe.
Some people just take longer to learn. So maybe
Yeah.
your cousins are just taking a little bit longer to learn than you. But we all learn eventually, right?
Yeah.
So I
Even
really,
if they're older.
even if they're older, some people learn at a slower pace, and so that's okay. That's okay too. But I really appreciate you guys joining us today and spending a little bit of your morning with me, and being with us for this summer up at Vets with the City of Las Vegas. And this is Discover Las Vegas.